This is our second cultural, if not maybe third, that we have done in the past. These programs are specifically catered to you, especially for our young Somali youth, right? We are so far away from Somalia, but hopefully the goal of this is you learn something knowledgeable, something that you can take from here and then inshallah share it with your children in the future. Unless you have the opportunity to go travel back in Somalia, what happens is the longer that we stay in America, the more values that you lose about our culture, right? Our culture is very important, especially it's an oral culture where we tell one another exactly how things work. So hopefully, now that you all are multicultural students or youngsters in America, you would definitely benefit from having this culture that's being presented by SASSA. So without any further ado, a lot of you guys have asked me in the past, who is SASSA? Who is the executive? SASSA, there's a lot of people that work under SASSA, but the executive is my brother Omar Dehabshil. Please welcome.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. First of all, I would like to say thank you, all of you, students, staff, and also a special thank you my professor, Farah Adam. He has been in this field in teaching more than, can I say 50 years?
Go 55.
55, yes. Yeah, since 1974 he was teacher in Somalia, in Yemen, in here. He's a great man, and you know the Somali culture, and also he has YouTuber as Somali and language. He has a lot of the followers all over the world. And today we are lucky. We learn from him many things about it. We would like to thank you, Farah Adam. Welcome, Farah.
Thank you so much. I'm using this one. Okay. Thank you so much, Umar. mahadsantahay microphone baan umala macallin duqo baan ahay waxa waaye codkay meel kastaan gaarsiin karaa marka hore assalaamu calaykum waraxmatullahi wabarakaatuhu wacalaykum asalaam waraxmatullahi wabarakaatuhu maasha allah waxaan u imid dhalinyaro salaad casr dukanayso runtii aad aan ugu farxay wiil iyo gabdho oo salaada u istaagay. So that is the good point. So second, you will step to know more about your language, because language is connected with the culture. If you know the language, your language, you know your culture. So that is something very important. And I will show you later after my presentation practically that the language is connected with the culture. So this is a topic I decided to talk about, the beauty of Somali language. So beauty, what do we say in Somali? Quruh. Okay, quruh. Mid kalento. Quruh. Another word. Another word. Quruh. Quruh. Shahshah. Fi'nan. Wanaak. Hanet. So on. Body. So that is the beauty of Somali language. But so I will show you the beauty. So the word beauty is kind of personification, because when we're talking beauty, we talk about we make a beautiful building, a beautiful person. So something like that. But now here, the language, I give the beauty to the language for several reasons that you will see later. And also I have British accent, so please follow with me. Okay, so this is the book that I wrote. It's called Bar Ama Baro, which means teach or learn. As Umar mentioned it, I've been in education field for a long time. I started teaching field in 1975 when I was 17 years old. So I worked in Somalia, Technical College in Somalia, then teacher Yemen, and then I went to MSU, and then now I used to work as admission and academic advisor at South Central College. I was given early retirement, but still I'm young, okay? So by the way, that's the point. And then now I'm instructor of Somali language at South Central College. So this course is a general course, it's a college level course. It's a transferable course. So anyone who is in college now, it can take this course for the fall through online. And it will be transferable course. For a general course, goal area number 8, when we're talking about Minnesota State College and University, goal number 8, global perspective, it will be transferable. Okay, so that's one point, and you can take through online, that's fine. It will start on August 22, 2023. So, and this course, I'm very proud, matter of fact, because this course, I'm the founder of this course at South Central College. I make the curriculum of the course. I wrote the book of the course that we're teaching now, right now. So this is something that I did myself. And I'm very glad. It's the 5th year that we're teaching Somali language at South Central College. And it's the college, only college in Minnesota which is taught in Somali language. So that's another point. So today I want to just share for the topic, the beauty of Somali. So I want to, first of all, we're talking for a language in general. The language, they have family languages. Like English, France, Italia, they call it for Latin language. Somali is the kind of the Cushitic language. That's called Cushitic language. So these are the relative of Somali language, or the family of Somali language, of Somali, Afar, Oromo. So when we say language, in Somali we say of Somali. And you see how they are close. In Afar, we say of Afar. That's the same way. So in Oromo, they say Afan Oroma. Afan Oroma. So you see how they are very close each other. Of Somali, of Afar, Afan Oroma. So it's very close. So that is, it's called Cushitic language. Like simple. So we name it Af. So it's Af Somali. That means the word that's coming from the mouth, Af Somali. But the Latin, they come another way. So they use the word language, it comes from the word in Latin, it's lang, which is tongue. So France, France. In Italy, you say lingua Italia. English, you say language. So they use the word lang, which is tongue. So that's kind of how we can make classification for the languages. So first of all, you have to know that Somali language, Afar language, and Oromo language are called Cushitic language, and they are very close. So language, we're talking language is something special to a human being. And language is the medium of communication, to communicate, daily communication. So because this is something special that God gives to the human being only. So, but animals, they don't have a language. They have a language, but we cannot understand their language. But this is, language is kind of human being, something special. Okay, so I'm talking for the component of the language. SASSA لغة. لغة language. So the language is combination of something, and then we say this is a language, or this is a sentence, or this is a word, or this is a letter. So these are the main combination. First, it starts with what we call phonology, which is odain, od. Okay, so it's the study of sounds and organized and used for natural language. So od is called phonology. So let's give an example of od. When I say ba, ta, ja, ha, ga, or A, B, C, D, or alif, ba, ta, ja, ha, ga, so it's a od, it's a word, it's a phonology. So these are the letters, what we call alphabetical. And it's only say harfaha. So that is the first, it's a sound that organized to use for natural language. So every language has started with a letters. So these letters you can memorize. So we can read all Arabic or Quranic letters. we know Somali letters, we know English letters, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, X, Y, Z, simply. So that's kind of the first, starting for the phonology, ot, starting of the ot. So the second step, combination, you will come what we call morphology, which is the study about the words. So it's the study of the internal structure of the words. So the word, where it come from? The word, it come from the combination of letters. So when I say abo, so it's kind of combination of letters and it make one word. So that is the second step. Okay, so that is the second step. So when you combine words, okay, when you combine letters, you found a word, which is called morphology or erayen. So the first step was odain with the letters, erayen with combined letters. So, okay, so what I want to just mention, when you combine two letters, like AB, which is up, or PE, which is P, or HE, which is he. So when you combine, that's called it, in Somali, it's called it alam. In English, call it syllable. So for example, let's go Abdi. So Abdi has two syllables. Ab, which is AB, D, which is DI. Muhammad, Muhammad, which has three syllables. Okay, it's three syllables, which is three alan. In Somali, it's called it alan. Be careful. Okay, that's called it alan. So the combination of the word is, it makes syllable, and the syllable makes a word. So when you combine the words, you will get what you call weren or weden. So some people, they pronounce the ra with la, weden or weren. So weren is just a complete sentence. So you have these three steps: phonology, morphology, and syntax. And this is something which is special to every language, whatever is it, even Chinese language. So every language, they should have alphabetical or letters, and they should have words, and they should have sentences. So when you combine sentences, you get a complete language. Language means something that you can communicate and understand each other. Okay, that's the language. And Somali is the one of the party. So, this I'm talking for the benefit of the language. First of all, communication and understanding. That's the first benefit. You communicate each other and understand each other. But thus, how it will be if there's no understanding or a human being? There's nothing working at all. So communication and understanding, that first. Cultural and traditional value. So you have to know that every language, it refers back to its culture. Whether it's English, whether it's Chinese, French, whatever it's like that. Okay. So when we're talking for British culture, we mention like Shakespeare plays, like Marriage of Venice, something like that. So the language, we're talking our culture, we're talking for our language. So that's number two, culture and traditional value. So that the language is the only thing that you can keep to continue simply with your language. So as I mentioned before, as far as you know your language, as far as you can understand your culture. Number four, it's an instrument of thinking and creation. So something to think. It's the instrument. It's the things that you wanted to think about. So if there's no language, there's no thinking, and there's no creation at all. So measurement of literature value. So literature in Somali we say sugan. Okay, so qiyaasidda ama habraaca ama xeerbeega suganta afka qiimaha ay leedahay. Especially when we're talking for Somali Our language was oral language for a long time. So our language was oral. It was written in 1974 or 72, something like that. So before that, it was just oral language. But still, the value of literature was very good. So you have to be broad for the literature, and you have to try to find out yourself how the value of Somali literature is value. And also, I want to mention one point. So just when I finish it, if you get a chance to visit my YouTube page, it says the beauty of Somali language, ama quruxda of Somaliga, you will find at least 150 videos from starting 2009 up to now. Continue for working about only Somali culture, Somali language, only about that. Okay, so that is the one. So when I'm talking literature, so matter of fact, we have poets. Okay, we have poets, and also we have people who are God talented to create something. Okay, like so when I read the plays of Shakespeare, because okay, I read plays of Shakespeare, and I compare it with the plays of one Somali's artist. His name, he passed away. May God give him for mercy. Okay, his name is Muhammad Abdullah Sangub. So I read 3 plays of Shakespeare and compare 3 plays of Muhammad Abdullah Sangub. And I compared each other. So matter of fact, to me, 100% Muhammad Abdullah's plays was better than the Shakespeare. So there was 3 plays that he invented. It's called Jacayl kan xawaalay oon xuudka liqsiyaan caawa xusaya. That means the love that I buried and swallowed with the whale, just I'm making illusion or remembrance tonight. So that's kind of 3 plays was combined. Shakespeare never built for this place, which combined together. So that's the point of the literature. So if you got a chance, please try to learn more about the literature. Okay, so major parts of the language. So there's kind of major parts. So first we're going to start with nahwu, with grammar. Is there any of you now that we have a grammar in Somali language? Any one of you? So when I'm talking, you know grammar, is that right? Mm-hmm. When I'm talking grammar, you know grammar? So like what? Can you give me one of the 8 parts? In English, they have 8 parts of speech. They have 8 parts of speech. So anyone mention here, what are the 8 parts of speech in grammar in English language? Please? Just say me one of that. Okay, so we are not in test, just for you to know. So yes, please. What that? Punctuation. Okay, so punctuation is the part of the is part of the capitalization and punctuation, but it's not coming in the 8 parts of speech in common. So so grammar is a set of structural rules that given to a composition of sentence or phrase or a words or any given to the natural language. So that's kind of the grammar. So grammar is used to build a good and very good understanding sentence. So for example, let me see, give you an example. For example, when I say, I go to school, that's a complete sentence. That's a complete sentence. I go to school. So in grammatically, we use every day, but in grammatically means you have to know deeply what is the component of this sentence. So you have to spell. In Arabic we say i'rab. You have to know one by one and say, okay, I is a pronoun which is the subject of the sentence or the doer of the action. Go is a verb, which is a regular verb, which happens every day. Okay, I go to school. School is object. To is preposition. So school is noun with the object, receiver of the action. So that is the grammar. And in Arabic we say i'rab. That's the grammar. So in Somali, like, okay, anigu waxaan aaday dugsiga. Anigu waa falsameeye. It's called a subject. Anigu waa falsameeye, falkan sameeye, subject. Okay, waxaan waa assistant, waa kaalmo magacyaalka ugu horeeyo oo ah aniga. Okay, aaday waa falkan sameeye, waa actionki, waa verbki waaye. Dugsiga waa fal lagu sameeye, waa meeshaan aaday waaye. Marka that's the point of the grammar. So in every language it should have a grammar. So and also when we're talking about the language has two main sections: spoken and written. Spoken and written. So spoken is just, it's called it street language. I'm gonna go. So that is spoken, matter of fact, but in grammatically, there's no nothing to say I'm gonna go. I mean, I have to go, but I'm gonna go. So that's kind of street language. So when it's spoken, you can use whatever you like. But when it is written, you have to apply the rules and the regulation of the grammar. So that's what the grammar is. Okay, so number 2, sugan, which is the literature. So literature is a term used to describe a written or spoken materials, broadly speaking. So, so this literature, when I'm talking for sugan, is a kind of in Somali language, we have different kinds of literature, like ruwayat, plays. We have gabay, we have gerar, we have different plays, different. So they are coming under the literature. So the only thing which Somali literature is rich for other language is, and you will see later, we have what we call haraf ra, we call it alteration. That means when you want to make a Somali poem, whatever is it, so you have to use one letter coming back after coming back. Like if I say, hab kusoo dheh, salaan ka soo gooday, sadriga iyo laabta, sanbabada iyo beerka, silsilada farbarka, saabeyda uurka, saxansacada roobka, sagalka cadceedda. So I'm going with sa, you see? So that is, but when you go to Arabic, it's different. When you go to English, it's different. For their literature, the poem, when they make, but Somali, they have what you call alteration, which is harf ra. So you have to come